If you're watching this, it's because you're awesome, and you're about to learn something that makes you even more awesome. Okay, we're going to learn how to do some awesome stuff right here in Davinci. This is my Davinci screen. I'm already in the middle of doing an editing. This is a real video. I'm actually editing, not a sample video. And I'm editing it for our Sane Auto page. You're watching this on our Sane Enterprises page. So if you want to see this finished video after I'm completely done with it, it will be on the Sane Auto page. And it's called World of Wheels Car Show 2019 Corvette Alley. First, you're going to see this right here is an actual video, so it's going to have motion in it already. It's going to pan from left to right across the car. This is actual video right here, and it's got motion panning across the car. But this is a photo, and it's going to have motion in it too. Now, when you're actually in the editor, it looks a little choppy, but as you could see from my other video that we showed at the beginning of this video, they're really smooth when they're after you render it and put it on YouTube. It's nice and smooth. So this is an actual video clip. I'm actually using the video. Now that is a photo that I put motion into, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That's a photo I made it zoom. This one I did the pan. And that one I made it zoom into the shifter handle, which is not the center of the photo, so it takes a little extra work. Same thing here. You're going to a different point other than the center of the photo. Now, how did I do that? You got to go to File. Go to File, left click on that, and then come down and hit Import File. Go over to the right, Import Media. Click on that, and it pulls up your photos. Now, if your photos aren't over here right now, then you may have to click on a few things over here in your left window to get up the exact file that you want to find the photos. And then go down to the photo that you want to put on your video next. Right here is the one that I'm after. So I left clicked on it and it puts a check mark in it. Go down to Open. And that imports it into Davinci and puts it over here. And I've got to put my cursor on it. Hold the left click down and drag it to the right. And put it right here where I can get to it with this cursor right here. Now, you left click on that and drag it around to wherever you want. But for our purposes right now, in order to do what we want to do, it's got to go at the very front of this picture. Or the very far left of the picture. Just touching it. Now you want to go up here. If you don't already have your inspector open, go up the upper right hand corner and left click on Inspector. And open that up. It says nothing to inspect. If it says nothing to inspect, that means you haven't clicked on the photo. You got to left click on the photo. And you see how it gets a red mark around it? Now there's something you got to watch out for here too. Sometimes this will be up and there's no red mark around this photo because the red mark will still be on the last photo that you were working on. If that happens and you put this over here and you start working on this photo or thinking you're working on this photo, clicking on things in here, what you'll actually be doing is mucking up your last photo because it's got the red mark around it. You got to make sure that you click on the photo you actually want to work on and get it highlighted in red so that you know you are working on that photo. That's something that was left out of the other videos that I watched when I was learning. And yeah, I messed up a few photos and it took me a while to figure out what I was doing wrong. Hopefully, now that I've showed that to you, you won't have that problem. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of these black marks right here, because that really ruins the effect. If you leave those black marks, they will show up in your finished video, and it'll make it obvious that this is a photo, and it just ruins the effect. So the first thing you want to do is zoom in. Now you get your cursor over here where it says zoom, and then you left click and hold, and push to the right. See how when you push to the right it zooms in, and push to the left it zooms out. Push to the right it zooms in. You want to zoom in enough to where those black lines are gone. And if you're going to pan left or right, or up or down, something like that, you're going to want to zoom in some more. If you're going to pan down to a pinpoint like I did with the engine on here, then just leave it right there. We're going to pan from left to right. So I'm going to need to zoom in quite a bit more. Right about there. Then I want to go down here to position X and pull this thing over to the left as far as I can. See a black mark starting to show up, so I've got to pull it back to the right a little bit. Don't want to start with any kind of black marks there that ruins the effect. It doesn't look good. Then I let go of that, and I hit, you got to hit these buttons over here to anchor it. So now that I've hit those buttons and they turned red, do you see how they turned red? That has anchored it at the beginning of this video right here. Close that. Now I can grab this and pull it over here, not all the way to the end of the video, the picture, because if you pull it all the way to the end of the picture, you see what happens? It goes black and you can't see what you're doing. So almost to the end, get it almost to the end right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of in the spot that's almost to the end where you can still see what you're doing, and drop it there. Then you go back up here and you notice these little things aren't red anymore. You go back up here and don't mess with the zoom if you're trying to get this pan effect. You hit that X position and drag that to the right. Oh, went too far. So pull it back to the left again till it's panned as far as it can go without having a dark line here. We don't want any dark line there. Now I'm going to let go of that because I was holding the left down to move it around. And then I'm going to click this over here to anchor it. That didn't work. Let's pull that again. Okay, no black line. Okay, it's turned red all on its own. So don't click it again. Alright, now you've got to go over here without clicking anything. Don't breathe on anything because you mess it up. And click the left click on the play and let it play past the end of the picture just like that. And you can hit stop, grab your cursor and bring it over here to the beginning of the video and check your work. See if everything worked out alright. Okay, it's on the beginning of the photo. It's still zoomed in like what we wanted. There's no black marks here or here. You know, don't pay any attention to these. That's not going to be in the video. And then you click play and watch it just pan across. So now it looks like you took a little bit of a video clip starting from the front of the car and you just panned your video across the front of the, from the front to the back of the car. And at this point you can grab your picture and bring it over here and connect it because it's done. And then you go up here to File and you grab another one. Hit File, go to Import File, Import Media, click on that. And there's the 2266 I got last time. Now I'm going to grab this one that's 2267. It's got the other side of the car, same car. Open, and it puts it right there in Davinci so that you can start working with it. So you grab it, bring it down here to your timeline, and don't connect it yet. Leave it out here all on its own so you can work on it. And once again, notice how the last photo is still highlighted. If you start messing with this right now, you'll mess up the last photo that you did. So you want to click on this new photo and get that red highlighter around that so that you don't mess up the other photo. Now, bring this cursor to the beginning of the photo. Go up here and zoom in like we did last time. Get it zoomed in good. Then grab the position and pull it to the right so it'll look like you took a video camera and pointed it at the front. Sometimes it jerks around. You just got to work with it left and right until you get it where you want the photo to be. Now, I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not, but this black is much blacker than this black. This black is kind of a semi-flat black, and this is a gloss black right here. And there is a a line right here, very dark black and fuzzy, almost flat black. You don't want any of this gloss black here. Any of this black right here will show up on your video. Make sure that it's at least has photo covering that. Now we're going to leave it right there. We want this to be anchored right here. In order to do that, you've got to go over here and click this button. And because we messed with the position, click that little button too. Now see, they're both red. Now we grab this cursor, drag it over to the right hand side of the photo. Not all the way to the end, remember, so you go all the way to the end, it goes black and you can't see what you're doing. So almost to the end. Then go back up here to position and see they have turned white or green or whatever color they are. I'm a little bit colorblind, so forgive me. I don't know what color those are. So we're going to move the position. We're going to make it look like we panned across the car with a video camera. We're going to left click on that, hold it down, and push to the left. Push to the left. Oh, I'm getting glossy black right there. Don't want that. Got to back it up, back it up. Okay, right there. That's as far as I can pan to the right without ruining the effect. And I'm going to let it go. Now look, those turned red by themselves this time. I didn't have to click them. They turned red all by themselves, which means it's anchored. Sort of. Remember what I told you about hitting play. If you don't hit that play and let it play off the end of the, for some reason, it just doesn't actually anchor. So grab this, drag it back over here to the front of the photo, hit play again to check your work. Like I said, it is a little choppy before it's rendered. That's fine. If it's choppy before it's rendered, it's fine. It will be smooth after it's rendered. And you can put it on your YouTube, your blog, your whatever you want to do. Publish it on Facebook, whatever you want to do with it. It'll be nice and smooth after you render it. You have to watch another video if you want to see how to render things. If you don't know how to render things, that's a separate video. Okay, we're going to grab this photo, left click, and drag it over to the left and let it connect. Now, when I get really close here, it kind of jumps over there and connects itself, and I let go. That's why I move real slow, because if you move too fast, it could go over top and kind of, that's a whole separate thing. We're not getting into that on today's video. Now, I want to show you something else you can do with this besides panning left and panning right. So we're going to get another photo. We're going to go to File and then Import File, Import Media. I want to do this 2272 right here. It's already kind of close to the velocity stacks on the engine. See, I've got a check mark there where I clicked on it. I'm going to hit Open. That pulls it into the Davinci, so we can grab it with a left click and drag it over here. Put it right there. My cursor's already right at the front of the photo, but this red is still around the last one that I did. We don't want that. We want to left click on this to make sure the red highlights that photo. Then we're going to get rid of these black lines, these gloss black lines on either side of the photo by zooming in at least enough to get rid of the gloss black lines. We're going to anchor it right there by clicking that little button. We're going to grab this cursor and go almost to the end of the photo, and then we're going to do something neat. We're going to zoom way in here. Whoa, not that way in. Remember I tell you, it jumps sometimes. Let's get it. Okay, now, if we just zoom in, it's going to be on these velocity stacks, these 4 velocity stacks closest to you. And the other 4 velocity stacks are kind of out of frame. And this chrome linkage is kind of drawing your eye to it. I want the eye to be drawn to these velocity stacks. So I'm going to go to the Y position over here. And I'm going to move that to the left so that it pulls the photo up a bit. And see how that brings the top of the velocity stacks into the frame, and the linkage is out of the frame now. That's not the center of the picture, but that is the part of the picture I wanted it to zoom into. Now you can use these positions right here and move them around to get it to whatever part of the photo you want it to be, so that you can zoom into a specific position in the photo instead of it just automatically zooming to the center of the photo. And that's how I did the thing with the shifter handle in the other photo that you saw, where it was a photo of the interior and it zoomed down into the shifter handle. That shifter handle was not quite in the center of the photo, but I was able to use this technique to zoom into what I wanted it to zoom into. And to complete this effect, you can see this is red already, so don't click on it if it's red already. Just click on the play and let play to the end of the photo, and it's off into the black. If there's something else you want to learn on Davinci right here on Sane Enterprises, then put a comment below. If we don't have a video on it, then check with Camaro Time, Pete at Camaro Time. He has several videos, how-to videos on Davinci editing software.
Hi, we're so glad you're here at Sane Enterprises.
This is Carol Sane.
And this is Victor Sane. Isn't he adorable? We're here to help you and the rest of the Sane community grow.
And we're going to have fun helping you celebrate your victories with the whole community.
Woohoo!
I guess by now you've noticed we're not just another average self-improvement channel.
We're a community.
And how do they join this community?
That's easy. There's this red button right there. Oh, and they gotta hit the bell. Don't forget,